The Vraxian warships materialized above Earth's atmosphere like obsidian thunderclouds. 17 vessels, each spanning kilometers in length, their hulls adorned with the trophies of conquered worlds. Commander Drell stood on the bridge of the flagship. His four eyes narrowed as he studied the blue planet below. "Primitive," he muttered. "Their most advanced weapons will barely scratch our outer shields." His second-in-command, Officer Tarn, nodded in agreement. "The intelligence reports suggest they've only achieved rudimentary space travel. They're confined to their own solar system." "Then this will be swift," Drell said. "Prepare the first wave. Standard conquest protocol." The Vraxians had subjugated 32 civilizations across 3 galaxies. Their method was efficient and predictable. Demonstrate overwhelming force, destroy major military installations, and accept surrender within days. Those who resisted faced extinction. Earth would be no different, or so they thought. General Emma Williams watched the alien fleet from the United Nations Space Command headquarters beneath the Rocky Mountains. Unlike the panicking politicians, on the emergency broadcast, she maintained a composed demeanor. "We've been preparing for this possibility for decades," she told the assembled military leaders from around the world. "Project Shield Wall is ready." A Russian general frowned. "But we never completed the orbital defense grid." Emma's lips curved into a slight smile. "We completed something better." The first Vraxian attack came at dawn. Dropships descended toward major military bases across Earth. Drell expected minimal resistance, perhaps some primitive missiles, fighter jets, or ground-to-air defenses. What he didn't expect was silence. "Where are their defense forces?" he asked, confused by the tactical displays showing empty military bases. "Scan for underground bunkers." "Nothing, Commander," Tarn reported. "The bases appear abandoned." "Impossible. Our intelligence—" Before he could finish, a series of brilliant white flashes erupted across the planet's surface. Not nuclear explosions as the Vraxians first feared, but something else. A coordinated electromagnetic pulse unlike anything they'd encountered. The dropships faltered, their systems temporarily scrambled. When they recovered, Earth's skies were suddenly filled with aircraft. Not the primitive jets the Vraxians had anticipated, but sleek, angular craft that moved with impossible speed and precision. "What are those?" Drell demanded. "Unknown design," Tarn admitted. "They don't match anything in our database." From a command center beneath the Atlantic Ocean, Admiral Thomas Rodriguez watched the first engagement with quiet satisfaction. "The Phantom Squadron is performing exactly as designed," he reported to General Williams over their secure channel. "The aliens don't know what they're facing. The Earth forces had been strategically hidden, disguised, or kept mobile. What appeared to be abandoned bases were elaborate decoys. The real military strength of humanity had been distributed across thousands of smaller, harder-to-detect installations. "Activate the Aegis system," Emma ordered. In orbit, the Vraxian fleet suddenly found itself targeted by hundreds of small satellites that had appeared dormant until now. Each satellite released a cloud of what looked like metallic dust. "Debris?" Drell wondered aloud. It wasn't debris. The dust surrounded the Vraxian ships, then coalesced into a network of energy-draining filaments. Their shields began failing at an alarming rate. "Impossible!" Drell slammed his fist on the control panel. "These humans couldn't possibly have this level of technology." "But they did. We've studied the stars for centuries," Emma explained to the United Nations Security Council, as they watched the battle unfold. "Did you think we were only looking at pretty lights? We've observed distant conflicts, analyzed alien technologies, and prepared accordingly." The council members watched in awe as Earth's coordinated defense systematically disabled the alien fleet. Not through brute force, but through brilliant countermeasures specifically designed to exploit weaknesses in advanced propulsion and weapon systems. By the third day, 7 Vraxian warships had been captured intact. The rest retreated to the edge of the solar system, their commanders bewildered by the technological sophistication they'd encountered. Drell faced the humans across a conference table aboard the neutral International Space Station. General Williams sat opposite him, her expression unreadable. "You knew we were coming," Drell stated. "It wasn't a question. We detected your scout ships 3 years ago, Emma confirmed. We've been watching your expansion for decades. But your technology. We're not naturally aggressive, Emma interrupted. We focused our resources on understanding the universe rather than conquering it. But make no mistake, Commander, we are very, very good at defending ourselves when threatened. The peace treaty was signed a week later. The Vraxians departed Earth orbit not as conquerors, but as the first alien race to establish diplomatic relations with humanity. Their ships limped home, damaged not just physically but psychologically. In the decades that followed, the story spread across the galactic community. The seemingly primitive humans who had broken the undefeated Vraxian armada. Earth became known, not as an easy target, but as a world of ingenious defenders who preferred peace but mastered war when necessary. Commander Drell, now Ambassador Drell, often told the story to young Vraxians. We arrived to battle, he would say, his voice hushed with respect, but left broken by humanity, not because they were stronger, but because they were smarter, not because they loved war, but because they had prepared for it while hoping for peace. And that perhaps was humanity's greatest strength, the capacity to hope for the best while preparing for the worst, a duality that the rest of the galaxy was only beginning to understand.